Hello once again, all my fellow patriots and you filthy leftist stalkers out there. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Angela Box. You're watching Angela's Soapbox, where I say what you are thinking. Funny story, I had taped this before and then I have it on Do Not Disturb on my phone, but someone kept calling, so it popped in 15 minutes into my video. So let's try this again, shall we? And let's try and make it under 15 minutes. Okay, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button, sharing my content, commenting on this video, piss off a leftist, and by doing so, because it will. Okay, every week I write an article on angelasoapbox.com, and this week it's entitled, Trump Brought an Armored Tank to a Knife Fight, and we're gonna get into that in a minute. But I'm sure you're waiting with bated breath. Who's getting the straw this week? Well, it's a personal matter because this week Twitter suspended me for no good reason. So Twitter gets the straw this week. And honestly, the only thing I can think of, last week was our Unmuzzled rally in Houston. And we were protesting against not only Lena Hidalgo, who keeps the threat level red, even though no one is dying and no one's in the hospital. It's just, it's just a way. Let me tell you what this is. It's a way for the Democrats to cheat. It's a way for them to say, see, we can't go to vote in person. We need mail-in balloting. And, people left and right are getting busted for this scam. And they're all Democrats, by the way. But anyway, so we're protesting against Lena, and we're also protesting against Governor Abbott, because without Governor Abbott's stupid mask mandate, none of this would be happening. And also his singling out of bars. So, it was a great rally, super diverse, lots of people of color, which, the media will never tell you. And here's something fun. I will link my speech down below if you have not seen it, and that's something else I would love for y'all to share. I'll also link Dr. Stella Immanuel's speech, and she was amazing. And it was like meeting a Beatle for me. It was like meeting John Lennon. I was like, oh my God. But anyway, funny thing happened during the taping of it. A young man, I don't know how old he is. Hippies for Trump, a guy named Sean, he was really fun. He said, about 5 minutes into your video, Facebook and YouTube cut the live stream. He said, after your video or after your speech, so during my speech, he was live streaming. 5 minutes into my speech, it was cut off. Right after my speech, he was able to live stream again. And then Twitter suspended me a day after that. I don't know. Could it be related? Who knows? I don't know. They won't tell me what my offense was. I offended them so mightily, they won't tell me what it is. And the funny thing is also is that I've tried to appeal this all week, and they're actually saying I reported myself. They're like, oh yes, this account violates our rules against abuse. The Box That Rocks, which is my Twitter account. It's like, I haven't had that much alcohol to think I would report myself, but y'all keep running with that Twitter, sure. And the thing is they're trying to censor all of us Trump supporters, and they're not. In one of my appeals to them, I said, guys, it's really wrong what you're doing. It's wrong because you're not liberals. Liberals believe in free speech. You are leftist totalitarians. That is how you're behaving. You are behaving like tyrants. This is what left-wing juntas do to shut down political speech. It's like, just let the people talk. What are you so afraid of? And, when Judge Barrett got nominated by President Trump last week, they're having a conniption fit about her, calling her a white colonizer and all these horrible things for this wonderful woman who, adopted 2 children from Haiti, who's a brilliant jurist. And the reason they attack us like this, and the reason they try and censor us, is because they know their ideas they're not bought into by the American people. If their ideas were popular, like sanctuary cities and illegal aliens and, let's be on welfare for the rest of our life, and the new Green Deal and $4 trillion in tax hikes and endless wars and pointless wars and, Antifa and Black Lives Matter running our communities, then it would show up in the polling booths and it would show up in the polls, but it doesn't. So they have to cheat with mail-in ballots, and the scheme of the harvesting and the fraud that's going on, Ilhan Omar, Sheila Jackson Lee, people are getting busted left and right, and they're all Democrats. They have to do that to cheat. They have to call us racist, and they have to shut down our free speech and free speech platforms like Twitter. So screw you, Twitter, and I would like an explanation. That would be great. Now, I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet because, like I said, it was rambling on. And so maybe it was kind of a good thing that I kept getting a phone call, so I had to do this again. But before I get to the debate, I want to talk about how this week James Comey James Comey, who testified, on Zoom, but it was under oath. I'm sure he had his fingers and toes crossed and like this. Yes, I swear to tell the truth. Anyway, he basically acted like Hillary Clinton did in the 90s when she was asked about Whitewater. He was like, I don't remember ever seeing anything problematic about the Steele dossier or Carter Page or lie. And it's like, go ahead and lie. You're trapping yourselves. Because Trump said in his Minnesota rally the other day, we got him cold. They were spying on my campaign. It's time for them to be rounded up and be held accountable. And that includes not only Barack Obama and Joe Biden, but Hillary Clinton, Susan Rice, Sally Yates, James Comey, Jim Clapper, et cetera, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, Brennan, et cetera. There's so many of them, you can't even count them on like four hands. The coup plotters, there's a lot of them. And I think Trump, I have a feeling he knows some information, but he stayed out of it. And he's like, hopefully justice will be served, and God willing, justice will be served, because James Comey was Obama was the mastermind. I think Brennan was a mastermind. Comey was a henchman. Comey was, he was a director. He told people what to do, but he's up to his eyeballs in this. So have fun, James. And it doesn't matter if you lied under oath, because the documentation is going to get you in the end. It's going to get you. Just like the Rona's going to get you if you don't wear a mask. And speaking of no masks, that's what they're now saying about President Trump getting the Rona. And, obviously I wish him swift, healthy recovery. I'm fairly certain he's not convalescing somewhere on a ventilator. I know that's what the left would prefer, but I'm fairly certain that's not happening. And I also think that President Trump is going to perhaps introduce hydroxychloroquine again. He might, in fact, take it and show that, it does work and I'm all better. And I think Melania might take it as well and show that, it does work. And all the lies you've been telling about hydroxychloroquine to try and win an election, to jack up the death rate, to jack up the fear, to keep schools shut down, to keep businesses shut down in order to foist your mail-in ballot scheme on the American people is not going to work in the end. It's not going to work. We see it all. Your constant, insane, incessant freak out about white supremacy, which Trump has repeatedly decried and said, I denounce this 100%. What else do you want? When Chris Wallace at the debate the other day, and quick aside, and then I want to talk a little bit about the debate. When he started in with this white supremacy crap, which he asked Trump 4 years ago the exact same question, and Trump was like, yes, I denounce it. And then Biden and Wallace were ganging up, say it. It's like it's like psychological torture at this point. It's like, I don't know what you want me to say. I'm not a white supremacist. I don't support white supremacists. And my administration has done more for all people than any administration ever. Especially if we're talking about people of color. The rises in employment, the rises in standard of living and wages. It's unprecedented. The HBCU money, the opportunity zones, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The shutting down of illegal immigration to a large extent. So those jobs are not being taken by illegal aliens, and more American people can get those jobs, construction jobs, et cetera. Screw you, Chris Wallace. You're a joke. You're a pathetic joke. Okay, so the debate. Now, a lot of people are like, ooh, Trump was too brash, it was too much. And, it was like this. It was definitely cringy at some points. But honestly, I don't blame Trump for coming at it full force. Biden was the first one to interrupt, and then Wallace interrupted. And it was basically 2-on-1 from then on out. And Trump even said, I guess I'm debating Chris Wallace too. And Joe Biden he looked like literally a corpse. He stared weirdly into the camera and was saying, you gotta vote. If you want Supreme Courts that are radical leftists, you better vote. He didn't answer anything on if he's gonna pack the court. He didn't say, he said, I'm not going to give you my list, because people like Stacey Abrams are on his Supreme Court short list, and probably, Linda Sotomayor or something insane like that. Far left wish list of his Supreme Court justices. And he not only did he gave a lifeline to the radical left, and then he took it away. And he's like, I'm not for the Green New Deal. And Trump's like, it's in your manifesto. It's on your website. Like, what are you talking about? he got him to back away from the far left on that and on tax cuts. And he said, I'm not going to raise taxes, when he clearly, like the breath before, said, yes, I'm going to raise everyone's taxes. Look, President Trump has to be a bull in a china shop, because they have done their everything they can possibly do for 5 years to destroy him. And that's not an exaggeration. It has been 24/7, 7 days a week. We must destroy President Trump. Why? Because he is the great disruptor. He is the one person who came into Washington and said, I'm not a politician. This is stupid. This is stupid. This is stupid. We can do it this way, this way, this way. Spend this less money, this and this less time, and this less resources, this fewer resources. And he got things done that the deep state has never gotten done, has said it can't be done, and that normal people just don't understand the way Washington works. Well, President Trump understands how business works, and President Trump understands people. And he has gotten more accomplished in 47 months, as he likes to say, than Joe Biden has done in 47 years. And so as Biden tries to wiggle out of going to the next debate, I don't think Biden should really worry about the next debate so much, because the moderator is Steve Scully, who just happened to be one of Joe Biden's interns back in the day. So I have a feeling that probably it's going to be 90-10 questions against Trump, and it's going to be another try to pummel Trump. I think Joe's going to be okay. But it's funny, isn't it? If President Trump just, as they're saying, is a disaster, was horrible, then why wouldn't the Democrats want there to be a debate every day? The scary thing is it's not scary. It's the dirty little secret. They know Biden was terrible. Terrible. Trump needs to let Biden speak. And I think next time he's going to be calmer. It was a high anxiety, high pressure situation. I think probably he's going to let Joe just keep talking and just run himself off the cliff, because he will, because his ideas are not workable or popular, and he literally cannot string two sentences together for more than 25 minutes. Look, they kept him together for 90 minutes, but he didn't really say much except his canned lines that he said a million times before and what they fed him to say. But I think Trump next time just let him talk. It's going to be fine. So guys, that's it for this week. Again, I'm going to link my speech from last week, Dr. Immanuel's speech, and this week's article. Please share everything. Please share it on Twitter, because as I mentioned, I am suspended right now for still don't know why. But we must persevere, must we? And carry on and keep fighting. And remember, it is your duty to get in the left's face every single week. And I like to say this: treat your fellow man with respect, be nice to police officers, but give the left no quarter, because they don't deserve any quarter. They need to be defeated entirely as a movement, and that is our job. So until next week, America, keep kicking butt and taking names, and I will too. Bye.